Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Ian, Scottish person living and working in Beijing in China. So what I do is I wander around Beijing and China and share my story on here on YouTube. So if this is your thing, and if you can understand a Scottish person, then please subscribe and follow along. So today I am going to meet my friend, the legend that is Bruce Connolly. Bruce has actually been in China for 34 years. We made a video before, actually, I'll link it somewhere. And Bruce knows so much about China. He's just a font of fantastic historical information. So I'm really looking forward to it. Where I'm going, I have no idea. Bruce is going to go somewhere. Knowing Bruce, it will be somewhere crazy and wacky. And he'll send me his location and I'm going to go meet him. What we'll do today is take video and some pictures of the local area. We'll talk a little bit about China and maybe share some insight into why we love living in China so much, given the fact that the two of us are from Glasgow, which is in Scotland. So if this is your thing, please follow along. And if you can, subscribe using that button below. See you in a bit. There's the man himself. How you doing, Bruce?
I'm cheering up.
Yeah?
I'm cheering up. I could sit
I
here.
come.
I could sit here for hours here. I love it. I was photographing the local dustmen coming past. They were waving to me. You know? They just got them down all day. You know, I'll be honest, I love it. You actually needs you need several visits. We don't have enough time to see it. I'll take you.
So this is a local Beijing Hutong area or just more of a street area?
No, it's a historic area.
Okay.
Coming from the Tiananmen, and I came along the street further north from here, West Hamilton Street, and it was very much a living community. It was quite poor, but I came along and really fascinated. Let's see the local clinic.
Local clinic.
Sorry. China's factory, Sao, was it glass factory? The glass factory in number 9 in alley.
So we're in the middle of near Tiananmen area.
The Tiananmen is just over there.
So Tiananmen actually is over there, and this is reminiscent of old Beijing.
Yeah.
Look
at a kid with the front of the bike.
It's a strange mix of nice modern restaurants and then old style living quarters.
Well, look at that kind of, almost not a mural, but carvings above the door. Obviously, it's been quite expensive to have done that. But also, you have two beams coming out, and it's these round, what we call mundan stone piers. And the steps going up there indicates a certain significance, a certain importance for whoever it was that was living
So this
there.
would have been quite an expensive place in the day to live here.
For
So this
area,
is quite a high.
it would have been.
Yeah.
I'm well known for going around these places, sneaking into people's courtyards. Right, you see, Ian, this is the exterior of this, what had been a factory.
I see it. Yeah, at the top.
Right.
Yeah.
And you see how the doors don't really fit in with the character of the local area. So this has been kind of entrance into the factory space. This has all been done up inside. A pity that you can't actually get in just now, because it's a great big kind of auditorium from 19th century. You see this is all restored.
Oh wow!
Yeah. Oh, this was a sewer. It was all buried underneath old dilapidated buildings, illegal property. It was actually a sluice, a water sluice from the moat around the main city walls, and it used to flow out the canal, down, down over here. But over time, the Qing dynasty, later Qing, and into the 20th century, it got covered over. And when the city decided to work in this, number one was to dig up the old river and restore the river. And I think it's a fantastic example of urban preservation, conservation, historical. I think it's great. I've talked a lot about this. I've had TV people down here looking at it. But this is老Beijing.
老Beijing.
它有播音，是编辑还是播
Beijing
音？
Renmin, Beijing Renmin 广播
北京人民广播
电台。
电台，实际上后来叫
北
京人民广播电台，后来叫中央人民广播电台。
And 中国日报。
中国日报。
这样啊，
中国日报搞编辑。
Anyway, okay.
OK，拜拜。
再见。
再见。
Bye bye,再见.
The great thing about this, there's no roads, there's no cars.
It's so peaceful.
To get here, you have to walk. Like, come down in the summer at the weekend, that place is mobbed.
With this coffee shop here.
Farm? Well, it's locals keep the
Locals keep the chicken here. Yeah, that chicken's off.
brilliant. You really have to see this in every season of the year, because it changes its mood. From the summer to the autumn. Even last week, you were still getting the autumn trees. All the orange colours. But the weather changed so quickly after then, and so a lot of the leaves have fallen. But the contrast with the snow and the leaves was just amazing. Ian,
Yes.
scan you.
Sure, scan
See
like.
behind us.
Yes, yes,
Hey, I'm going to have a Nature Cafe. What do you fancy?
same.
Hey, maybe Nature Cafe. Half an hour to warm up and defrost herself. I was thinking, sometimes I took the Lord Provost of Glasgow around Beijing. Lord,
So I'm out in the coffee shop and I bump into somebody that I work with. Say now.
Hi.
Thank you. Bruce, I mean, you've been in China for what, 30, 33, 34 years?
Yeah.
So what brought you to China, you know, and why do you love it so much?
I told you I trained from Glasgow Central.
Apart from the train from Glasgow
Yeah.
Central.
And I just fell in love with the place. It was so different. Much as I loved Glasgow, you know, China was really different, particularly at that time.
So what do you love about China or Beijing? Is it the safety? Is it the...
There's so much diversity in it. You know, you've got the ultra-modern, fast-moving lifestyle like Sasami Town. You go around areas that come down here near the Tiananmen, you're into very traditional old Beijing. People living everyday lives, you know, you get hens walking around, you don't get people living in little courtyard houses, very friendly.
Would you go back to Glasgow?
I would love to go back for a holiday. It's now I can't get back. I really don't know, Ian. I really don't know now. I'm not going to sound old, but at my age, I think it'd be quite difficult to go back to live in Glasgow after being here. Because, you know, in China, Ian, as you probably realise as well, age is irrelevant. In China, you keep behaving like a youngster.
You're a young person, yeah.
You know, you're surrounded by young people. People don't regard you as an Odeon. You know, they don't regard you. In fact, in China, the long run, the old people have this very high respect. And that is something I find here, that a lot of Chinese people respect the work that I do, my writing, my knowledge of the city. But they listen to you, or they look at your photographs, and they appreciate what you're doing. Whereas, you know, you tend to have this situation in Scotland very much where your old codger. I mean, I remember last year making a video with CRI. I'm standing on the terrace at Go Mall outside the Blue Frog Universe. You've got this beautiful view over all the new high-rise development. And I'm standing there, and they were asking me, and I said, you know, Beijing is a city where you never get old. You know, you're here. There's always something to keep you going, keep you, you know, mentally fit, keep you active, and you can certainly feel it when you're here, which is one reason to appreciate it. There's a lot. I wish now more people would come here in to see Beijing, see China, and to realise why a lot of people did appreciate, why they do like it. It's different.
It's not what you think, is it? People just don't get the right. They don't get the right media representation back in the West. You and I both know that, though.
It certainly is not. I mean, if I could just give you an example right now, if you look at Western media, you get the impression that Beijing is all locked up, it's all closed down because of the effort to keep the virus right down to zero. Beijing's not locked down. Beijing has got certain travel restrictions to other provinces to prevent the virus coming in. If you stop the virus coming in, you're not going to have it spreading amongst the people. So about 23 million people are protected. Where there's been isolated cases of the virus, those areas are quickly closed down. People are tested to check that there is no transmission in the area. So the result was that yesterday with one new case, 23 million people, one new case. What's the population of Scotland? 6 million?
5.5 million.
How many cases, new cases we got every day?
Goodness knows, 100, maybe more.
In the UK.
Well, in the UK it's 40 odd thousand at one point, isn't it?
And the UK is, what is it, 60 million people now in the UK?
65, 68 million people.
In China we get 1.4 million. A couple of days ago we had 7 new cases, 7 virus cases, no fatalities. Who's winning?
Well, yeah.
These things, you know, it's that kind of neighbourhood, you're right, looking after themselves. And I've lived in areas of, you know, in Beijing in my earlier days, lived in what you call socialist housing areas that dated from the the 1970s, 1980s. They were part of the old kind of socialist urban planning system that existed here after the 1950s. I loved it. You could really feel a community, an atmosphere. People would all been living there, working together. One area, Ian, quite close to you is a place called Twangjiahu.
Yeah, I know it, yeah.
The park there, if you walk through that park, it's all the local community. They're all part of the Twangjiahu neighbourhood. And you've got the housing areas there that date from the 1960s. And that area is filled with people who've been there all their lives.
And that's what you get everywhere you see. It's the People's Bank of China, the People's Association for Friendship, the People's Hospital. You know, they use the word renminbi, right? People's Square. You'll see that everywhere in China. The people, people, people. And when you take the Communist Party, the governing body here in China, its motto, serve the people. And that's it. You know, and I've come to the conclusion that I can see this. Okay, there's problems. There are, you know, no country's perfect. There are incidents you have here where we do see things that some things have gone wrong. But generally, the people are being protected.
So here's a question for you, Bruce.
I hear it.
What do you miss about Glasgow?
Oh, God. The horseshoe bath. Well, I would.
Hi guys, this is Ian again, just walking up, heading to the road to grab a car, maybe head back and get some food with Bruce. It's been another fascinating day with Bruce, seeing things that I never thought I would see in the middle of Beijing, and I think you would agree that it's quite surprising to see such a beautiful beautiful garden area in such a big, massive city in Beijing. So just about to head off. Bruce is just over there. I'll show you that in a second. No, you have. Bruce is just over here, waiting, and we'll get a car, head back, one beer maybe, and some food. So thank you as always for tuning in. Subscribe to my channel and I will share more of China with you. In the meantime, please take care, peace out. Back in Sanliton for a beer.
SLT.
Cheers. A good day, Bruce. Thank you, as always.